Good afternoon, everybody. Burnley don't really have to look too far for inspiration. Arsenal went out of the FA Cup just up the road at Blackburn last season, just down the road at Bolton the year before, and Burnley can also look for inspiration from Coventry, Oldham, Sheffield United and Huddersfield yesterday, and they should certainly be inspired by the atmosphere generated here by a near 20,000 crowd at Turf Moor. It's their biggest crowd of the season, and they are making quite a noise on a beautiful East Lancashire day. The sun shining, the pitch is a little damp, as Guðjónsson was talking about. It's been wet over the last couple of weeks here, but it's a strong Arsenal side that Burnley are up against today, and this man has an unenviable record in the FA Cup, of course. Owen Coyle, Burnley's manager, without his most experienced player. David Unsworth is suspended. Stanislav Varga, who arrived on loan from Sunderland on Friday, playing today his first senior football of the season. Irish midfielders Kyle Lafferty and McCann are both attracting interest from the English and Scottish Premier Leagues. And Andy Gray up front with 13 goals this season is top scorer so far. John Harley was on the bench for Chelsea when they won the cup in the year 2000. For Arsenal, Jens Lehmann plays. Now, it's possibly his last game for the club. Borussia Dortmund want to take him back to Germany. Eboué and Touré will leave for the African Cup of Nations tomorrow. Gilberto is back after illness. Bendtner back from suspension. And Eduardo, we talked about, 5 goals in his last 3 games. Arsène Wenger is comparing him to Robbie Fowler. Perhaps he's finally found his fox in the box, to use that Wenger expression of long ago. 3 young Englishmen on the Arsenal bench today, Hoyt, Randall and Lansbury, whilst familiar faces and names in Joey Guðjónsson and Adi Akinbiyi for Burnley. Eduardo has really impressed since he has been given his chance by Arsène Wenger. A lot of money to bring him from Dynamo Zagreb, scored against England in the European Championship qualifier in Croatia. He is cool as you like inside the 18-yard box. And up against him today, Stanislav Varga, great experience. Played against Owen Coyle, Burnley's manager, in his time at Celtic in the SPL. But he hasn't been able to stretch his legs in earnest for nearly a year now. He's been out of the picture under Roy Keane at Sunderland. So, Gavin Peacock, there's the man who has to try and work out how to beat Arsenal. Good luck.
Well, yes, good luck, because I think that the thing is, Steve, that Burnley mustn't simply try to contain Arsenal. I think they've got to look at Middlesbrough, who maybe a month or so ago, they turned them over, and that was because they pressed them. They pressed them from the front, and they had a go at them. And I think within the Burnley side, they have got players who can play on the ball. Robbie Blake, Andy Gray, and of course Lafferty in a wide position, I think is really useful. So when they get on the ball, they've got to make it count. But this Arsenal side do play good football.
Alan Wiley there, who was a spectator yesterday at the Scholars Ground, Chasetown, his local club, led for half an hour against Cardiff City, which just goes to show what can be achieved, because there was 135 places between Chasetown and Cardiff. The gulf here, nothing like so big on paper. Kolo Touré will be a big miss for Arsenal when he leaves Arsène Wenger's care for a month or so to go to Ghana for the African Cup of Nations. Eboué also will go. Alexander Song, who might have played today, was called up by Cameroon, which was a surprise call-up really, and he's already gone to Ghana to prepare for that tournament. 4 of the Arsenal side have already won the FA Cup. Gilberto's won it twice. David Unsworth, suspended today for Burnley, won it back in 1995 as an Everton player under Joe Royle. Mark Crossley, who was in goal for Oldham yesterday, played in the final of 91 and saved a penalty. Will they be nervous, Gavin, do you think, Burnley? They've not been great at home this season.
I think they'll be up for it. I mean, they haven't been playing well. Maybe their confidence isn't as high as it could be. But I tell you what, if there's a game to get you up and to get you going, there's no real pressure on them as well. They're expected to lose this game.
So it will be Burnley from left to right in the first half of the game. Arsenal in their change strip are attacking the Jimmy McIlroy stand away to the left-hand side. 3,500 Arsenal fans here today, filling the cricket field end away behind Jens Lehmann. So here we go. Arsenal joint favourites to win the FA Cup at the start of play today, and immediately looking to get Bendtner away. And an early touch for the familiar Gábor Király, who you'll remember from his time in the Premiership with Crystal Palace. You remember his jogging bottoms anyway. This is Akinbiyi for Arsenal. It's a Burnley throw. And here's Varga getting an early touch of the ball, which he'll appreciate. Couldn't have been a shout from Lehmann. It would have carried through to the keeper had Touré left it. Gilberto here. Danielsson, Sagna, Bendtner, and Akinbiyi. And Arsenal's throw off the heel of John Harley. Looked such a terrific prospect, John Harley, didn't he, when he was 18, 19? Not to say he hasn't had a good career, because he has, but...
That was with me at Chelsea. Smiler, we used to call him. He was the happiest man in the world, but lovely left foot.
Diaby here. Sagna. It's an Arsenal throw. Chris McCann with the clearance. Sagna is trying to steal some yards. To Touré. It's another Arsenal throw.
It's an important job for Robbie Blake today, I think, Steve. He's coming off the front, playing off of Gray, and he's helping out in the midfield area as well. If he can do that, if he can add the extra man in there and put pressure on Arsenal's midfield, that would be a bonus.
There he was, number 20, trying to put Sagna under pressure. Here's Eduardo. A little bit of room with two in the middle. Bendtner is one, Diaby is the other. Danielsson. Traoré with the throw for Arsenal. Bristol Rovers are leading at Craven Cottage by a 1-0. Two other 2 o'clock kickoffs today. Derby against Sheffield Wednesday and Fulham against Bristol Rovers. And Danny Coles has put Bristol Rovers in front at Craven Cottage. Here's Arsenal on the attack. Emmanuel Akinbiyi. They enjoyed that behind the goal.
It was a poor strike in the end, but you can't do that. I think it was Elliott who gave it away. Crossfield ball, square ball, and that was sloppy. You know, you don't want to give Arsenal chances like this, opportunities on the ball, and straight away he's into the final third. First thought, can I shoot? But he hits across the ball.
Some decent results against Premiership opposition here in the last few years. A win and a draw against Liverpool, a draw against Blackburn. Win here against Fulham. I remember being here a few years ago when Jean Tigana was in charge of Fulham. Here's the vastly experienced Graham Alexander. Nicely worked, Wade Elliott running at Traoré. He must have just flicked off Elliott's ankle. It's an Arsenal throw. Stephen Caldwell underneath it for Burnley. Gilberto. Diaby. Look like a team of giants as well, don't they, sometimes, Arsenal? Eduardo isn't chasing the long through ball from Danielsson, but you know, when you look at Gilberto, you look at Diaby and Bendtner and Kolo Touré, not only are they a superb team, an athletic team, They're a massive team.
They are, and I remember playing for Charlton Athletic against Arsenal a few years ago, and I stood in the tunnel up against them. Very, very tall, but not only that, they've got superb ability on the ball. It's the perfect combination. He seems to look for that kind of athlete.
Nice ball. Now, what can Andy Gray do with this? Back post, Lafferty off the bar! Underside of the crossbar, so close, Burnley. The free kick has gone against them. Oh, Kyle Lafferty.
It's a great ball into the channel area, and Gray does so well to run those areas. And I just feel that Lafferty there, he comes into the right position. It's a great position he takes up, but he's got to head down. Head down, it's a goal.
So close. It was a wonderful cross from Andy Gray. And Arsenal found themselves short-handed. Loads of power on the header. Only needed to be an inch lower. And Burnley would have led.
The other thing is, Steve, you know, when you do get the chance against the bigger team, you've got to put it away, else you fear you may rue it.
Gray for Burnley. Graham Alexander. Elliott here. O'Connor. Alexander. Very good, confident start from Burnley, and then it's just wasted possession by Robbie Blake. Bendtner just about found Diaby. Danielson. John Harley in quickly. But Sanya likewise. And Diaby. Lovely little shake of the hips. Very good recovering challenge actually by John Harley to put Diaby off his stride. And Lafferty hasn't kept it in play.
They're pressuring well, Burnley, very, very well. You know, good energy levels about them, midfield area, they're trying to get tight. And I think that's what they've needed to do, but I do like the movement of the front two. Blake is a really, really tidy player. When he comes off, he can get it into his feet. That's really good news for Burnley.
Derby County are a goal down against Sheffield Wednesday. Mark Beevers with the goal for Sheffield Wednesday. That's another upset maybe. Derby 0, Sheffield Wednesday 1. Also kicked off at 2 o'clock. Alan Wiley has awarded Arsenal a free kick. Premiership teams are falling like 9 pins. At least 8 will have to go out in the third round, and Fulham and Derby are both behind as well. Here's Király, and Arsenal are lucky they're not behind here. John Harley won't keep that in play. Not sure quite what the Hungarian goalkeeper intended. Traore here. Burnley's throw. Here's a man who knows a thing or two about upsets. Graham Alexander was in the Scotland team that beat France in Paris. Nice ball, and he's got him behind Eduardo, and you'd fancy him from here, and he's taken it with all the coolness we've already come to expect from Eduardo. And Arsenal are in front with 9 minutes played, and on the evidence of what we've seen from this young fella over the last few weeks, he just does not miss from that kind of position.
You just knew what a good ball this is, by the way. The back four gets caught square, but you knew when that went through that he was going to score, and that's when a player's in form. It gets away from Varga. Doesn't look match fit, Varga, by the way. Strength, just waits, has the patience to let it drop down, knows where people are around him and slots it in. And that's a shame for Burnley because they've been bright in these opening few minutes.
So Arsenal in front. I wouldn't say against the run of play, but it's been nip and tuck. Very good start to the game, and Burnley suddenly find themselves behind. Nicely floated ball over the top, and Eduardo did the rest. Lafferty hit the crossbar with a header for Burnley. With what was a great chance, will they get another as good?
That's what I was saying, wasn't it, Steve? You know, he'll be pleased because I think, you know, they were let off the hook with the Lafferty header. He heads it down in the back of the net. You've got to take those chances.
I have to say, in the one-on-one, Király here never looked like being the winner. Also noticed with Eduardo that he barely celebrates when he scores, which suggests a player who feels he really hasn't done anything too special. He's done exactly what he expects himself to do.
He's certainly settled now. I think Wenger sort of says, you know, it takes you 6 months, and maybe he even has a word with the new signings who come in and says to them, you know, it's going to take you a little while to settle, and maybe that relieves a little bit of pressure on them, and they can just develop and feel their way into the English Premiership.
He only needs one more goal to become Arsenal's joint top scorer this season. It's only his 14th start of the season. Here's Bendtner. Sanya is racing down the touchline. Instead, it's back into Bendtner. That'll be a corner. Lafferty got it behind.
What Burnley mustn't do now is panic and start running off shape. They've got to stick to the game plan that Owen Coyle will have given them before they came out that tunnel. Stick with it, believe. You know, they can create chances.
They have to defend properly as well. And here's Senderos. Just dropped to Bendtner. And Varga made the block. But Arsenal have another corner. Nicklas has come all the way from one corner flag to the other, and Arsenal still have 6 inside the Burnley penalty area. Király comes and he takes it well. For a long time this season, Arsenal were playing 4-5-1, weren't they, with Gábor Rosicky playing off Akinbiyi. Gone 4-4-2 in recent weeks. Arsène Wenger. Maybe that is because he felt he just had to accommodate Eduardo. Senderos at the back. Elliott. Alexander. O'Connor. Alexander. Wade Elliott again. Nicely played into Robbie. Back to Elliott. This is good from Burnley. Gray finds Harley. Lafferty is wide. 4 in the middle now for Lafferty to aim for. Has to beat Gábor first. It's a goal kick.
Gábor does well. Lafferty a little bit unlucky. I think he did the right thing. Tried to get past him to get the crossing. But good approach play from Burnley. The fans are appreciating it. And when they get the ball down, they've got players that can hurt you. Again, Blake involved in that move when he comes off the front.
This is the goal. It's a lovely ball from Kolo Touré. Just so cool.
So the way he just waits there. He waits for it just to drop down. He knows Caldwell's coming in, but he knows also that he's got enough time to let it drop.
Graham Alexander nicked in front of Bendtner there. O'Connor for Alexander. Blake over the top, offside. Just a split second there. Chris McCann thought he'd got goal side of the Arsenal back line. Here's Alexander. O'Connor has fed Blake. Good response from Burnley. Elliott, nicely done. O'Connor won't quite get there, Senderos did. And Gilberto. Danielson. And Harley. Now that, the flag has gone up. That was close.
John Harley did well there, actually, to intercept that, because you are at your most vulnerable when you're attacking Arsenal, because they'll hit you quick on the counter. That was offside. Again, that run into the channel by one of the front men works quite well for Burnley. They're getting some space, they're getting a little bit of joy. I think they should keep working it.
Did I say that was close? It was miles off.
Your eyes aren't what they used to be, now that you've reached 40.
Only just ahead of you. This is Király for Burnley. Now Elliott with Traoré. Good strength from the full-back. It's a goal kick. You wonder if there's much future being a left-back understudy to Clichy, but Traoré will get opportunities here and there to impress.
I think he's a really good player. I saw him play for Arsenal against Newcastle, the Emirates, in the Carling Cup, and I tell you what, he was awesome that day. He is so quick. Another one, like you say, Steve, you know, the physique, the pace, the footballing ability, that new breed of footballer.
Sagna. He's had a very steady first season in English football, I think, at right back for Arsenal. Alexander got the final touch there. It's Arsenal's throw. Danielsson. Touré. Varga finds Gábor Király. Senderos through the back of Andy Gray. Elliott running at Traoré. Has support from Alexander. Instead it's O'Connor. Nicely worked again down that right-hand side. Elliott with the cross. Comfortable for Lehmann in the end. Bendtner way back inside his own half of the field, chased all the way by Harley. Elliott. Great atmosphere at Turf Moor, and they're playing pretty well as well. Sagna here, just beaten to it.
No, that's a bit unlucky. I think Gray does well there, because he tries to hit it early, and you know, if you take it early, sometimes a bit better connection is through the legs, and it beats Lehmann because of the speed of the shot.
Had a slightly lean spell of late, Andy Gray, but 13 goals this season. Burnley have responded well, I think, to going behind. Here's O'Connor. Harley in a lot of space left side. Sagna read the danger. Eduardo. Bendtner in the middle. Diaby's also got forward. The challenge. Stephen Caldwell won it cleanly. Harley, it's good game this. It's a terrific ball for Wade Elliott. He can just reach it, which he has. Alexander's cross. Oh, might yet drop over the top of the bar from Blake.
Well, I tell you what, Steve, you know, Burnley have responded well, and what I like about them, every time they get the ball, the first thought is, can we go forward? The first touch is out the feet, and it's a positive touch. Blake's been heavily involved in everything good that they've done, and it was his great crossfield ball that started that move. Again, it's one of those, can you just keep the height of it? You've got to hit that target, make the goalkeeper work.
Well, Arsenal are a bit fortunate to be in front. Chris McCann forwards. Senderos with the header. Danielsson. Sagna. Well read by Harley. He's been excellent, actually, Harley. Here he is again. Lafferty down the line. Kolo Touré across. Managed to keep it in play, and Danielsson gets a free kick as John Harley made the challenge.
the early shot from Gray. See what I'm talking about there? He tries to hit it, tries to catch Lehmann unawares, and a bit better connection, it may have done it.
Marcus Tudgay scored for Sheffield Wednesday at Pride Park. They're now 2-0 up against Derby. That one kicked off at 2, and Bristol Rovers still 1 up at Craven Cottage against Fulham. Traoré. And Harley didn't get a shout.
There he is, still smiling, but he couldn't take any chances. I think his excuse would be, you know, I didn't hear anything, so I can't take any chances, don't know what's coming in behind me, I've got to put it out.
Danielson to take, Senderos and Diaby, Gilberto and Bendtner all in there. Gilberto's header is blocked on the line by Harley standing on the post. John Harley got in the way of the header. Here's O'Connor, Gilberto, Kolo Touré, Gilberto, Diaby, Bendtner nicely, Diaby, good challenge. Varga went in, he won it well, he's hurt himself as Stanislav Varga, and that's why Alan Wiley has stopped play. There's a meaty collision, this.
It was a solid challenge. I think Varga has looked a little bit slow on the turn. When it's in front of him, he's big, he's strong, he's powerful, and he's brave, and they're going to need him to make 1 or 2 challenges like that. And let Arsenal know what it's all about, and he certainly did there.
Well, Burnley escaped here what might have been a second Arsenal goal. It's O'Connor who's standing on the post who actually blocked the header. Alan Wiley's going to have a drop ball here, but both Varga and Diaby have had to leave the field of play. Király has found Elliott. I think that's what he was trying to do, and Elliott's given it to Diaby. Eduardo. Through Emmanuel Eboué. Danielson away to Sanya. Király only just ahead of Eboué. The free kick has been given to Burnley. Well, they weren't exactly decisive inside their own 6-yard area here. They got away with this, Burnley.
I think they did. When it comes across here, I think Alexander gets caught. Király doesn't know whether to pick it up or not. Maybe he thinks it's going to be a back pass, but he's not sharp to it. In the end, he just about gets a hand and gets a knock for his troubles. But I just feel on 1 or 2 occasions, Burnley have been the architect of their own downfall in as much as they've given the ball away in silly areas, of they've been a little bit sloppy or indecisive, perhaps like in moments like we've just seen there, and they don't need to do that against this Arsenal team.
The keeper seems to be okay. I think the free kick was given because Eboué's boot was a little high, which might have been a little harsh, really. Good recovery from Lafferty. Here's O'Connor. Lafferty. Andy Gray. Goal kick is given, and Burnley aren't too happy about that decision. Gray and Sanya.
I used to hate that, you know. When that ball's running out and the defender just gets there and he's jockeying it, no intention of going the ball for himself, but just stopping you getting there as a forward. And you never get the free kick, you know, as a forward.
It was good defending, wasn't it?
You must have been a defender, Steve.
I wasn't anything, believe me. Here's Gilberto. Traoré. his foot in well. It's a long chase though for Elliott, and he's almost picked out Blake, but Danielsson was on hand. And here's Sanya. Bendtner. Nice little interchange involving Eboué and then Danielsson, and Eboué arrives and Eduardo's in the middle. It's a player who's hard to read, Eboué. You never quite know what he's about to do.
I think you're quite right. I think if he could finish regularly, you know, be absolutely lethal, because he's such a good athlete and because he does make good ground up into the... I remember seeing him play when he was at right back. He used to get forward all the time. There's a clearance.
It was deflected by Harley onto O'Connor off the line from Gilberto's header. Saw Burnley concede here against Queen's Park Rangers a few weeks ago with a corner when they didn't have anyone standing on either post. Illustration there of why you normally do. Kyle Lafferty running here at Sanya. Took the intervention of Toure to win the ball back. Harley just about found O'Connor. Here's McCann. Danielsson swung his boot in on McCann from behind. Didn't make contact with the ball and not much with the man, but the free kick is rightly given. Stephen Caldwell will take the Burnley free kick. They've certainly, whenever they've been able to, committed players forward. O'Connor, Robbie Blake here, Lafferty, Gray in the middle, O'Connor challenged by Eduardo, Eboué to Danielsson, Eduardo's to the right hand side. Oh, good intervention, just about got there Varga, otherwise it was through to Bendtner. Good job, he's 6'3". Burnley get the throw.
Well, Varga had to make that challenge, otherwise he was dead in the water, I tell you what. Quick break from Arsenal.
Alexander gets it back from Robbie Blake. Given away by Traore. McCann. Caldwell for Lafferty. Kolo Toure away. That should be Caldwell's. Harley. Certainly not been a stroll for Arsenal. It's, well, nearly half an hour. Varga's just sort of growing into the game now. And apologises for a pretty poor pass. Has never failed to reach round 4, Arsène Wenger, and has never lost to lower division opposition. Has also won the cup in every country in which he's worked. Arsenal's throw.
Working hard, Burnley. Two midfield boys, O'Connor, McCann, terrier-like, putting in a lot of unseen work in there.
Ball had gone out of play. Burnley will have a throw. Graham Alexander takes. Gray. Free kick against Diaby. I'm not sure what is Diaby's best position, really. Like many Arsenal players, he's very versatile. It certainly was a free kick. And Wade Elliott can try and deliver here, and Lehmann is there.
Robbie Blake was just having a go. They wanted a better delivery, maybe a quicker delivery. Again, it's that channel area that they've had joy in.
John Harley's been like a man possessed at left back for Burnley so far. Danielson. Lafferty putting him under pressure and doing well. Gray back into Lafferty. Blake in the middle, needs a good cross. Senderos is there. Burnley have to settle for a throw. It's a really promising position for them too.
It was a great position. It was a decent ball in. I just felt maybe there was a split second before that it could have gone in a little bit earlier.
That's Gilberto with a clearing header. At times in this first half hour, Burnley have whipped up a storm. Harley. McCann. Just taken away by Sanya. Eduardo with a lovely little bit of skill. Doesn't get the free kick he was hoping for. O'Connor. Alexander. Gilberto wasted possession. O'Connor. They're not playing like a side that's only won twice here this season. Senderos was covering for Torre. Kyle Lafferty for Burnley. Not a bad outcome for him, it's a Burnley throw. Taken quickly into Gray. I'm not sure if that was a cross or a shot from McCann. I suspect it was a shot.
So the problem Burnley have had is that's a super approach play, but they're hitting the shots high and wide at times, and maybe that's the difference between Premiership and, you know, the way that Burnley have been playing. And you just got to make the goalkeeper work. You've got to hit that target. But certainly they've been very, very positive in their play and showed no little skill.
Bendtner. Eduardo to his right-hand side. Diaby to the left. Eboué is wider on the right. This is Eboué. Three in the middle. That's what we were saying about Eboué. You never quite know what to expect.
No, he's erratic. He's erratic, that's for sure. He wasn't looking to blame the pitch there, I don't think, either. He makes up the ground, you see, gets into those positions, take a touch.
Lafferty's been pretty effective down the left side for Burnley, and he's got a free kick. Tall for a left winger, 6'4", Lafferty. Harley in high, Lehmann comes, and that's a good take. I think I'll miss Jens Lehmann if this is his last game in England. It'll be his 191st and last for Arsenal, if that's the case. He's certainly a character. Verging on a grumpy old man character, but a character. Got 8 yellow cards last season, Jens Lehmann, which is virtually unheard of for a goalkeeper. I think he talked his way into all of them. Here's Eboué. Cut out by Caldwell. Sanya, Danielson. Diaby, nice little dummy by Eboué. Sanya with the cross. Caldwell did well with that. Lafferty. Free kick has gone Arsenal's way. Lafferty on Sanya. Arsenal's free kick. Diaby and Gilberto and Danielson are all lurking. It's Eduardo. It's comfortable. Daisy cutter, really.
Yeah, Király just gave himself a clear view of it. You mentioned the point there weren't too many in the wall, but enough for him to see it. Watch it all the way.
Varga's header. Harley being chased by Abué. One in the air by Danielsson, now Bendtner. Senderos for Arsenal and McCann for Burnley. Traoré. Diaby. Strong challenge by O'Connor, good one too. Sagna. Abué. Bendtner. It's a Burnley throw. Bendtner turned and gave Abu Diaby, in your picture there, a hard stare. Why weren't you there? Alexander. Alexander. Varga will be here at Burnley for a month on loan. Harley. Lafferty. That's a good cross just over McCann. Traoré lost it for a minute. Almost losing out to Elliott. He has lost out to Elliott. McCann! Oh, it's a wonderful opportunity and it's gone over the top again.
And yes, it's high again. In the end, just had to keep the height off it. Again, a lovely move when they get into those wide positions. A sweeping ball, it's a nightmare for Traoré to try and deal with. And Elliott just doesn't give it up, has the awareness to knock it back. It does come back quite quick to him. You've got to say that, and maybe he has to adjust. But you've got to accept it, and you've got to keep that height off the ball.
There's no question, although Arsenal have scored the only goal, and they've had a Gilberto header cleared off the line by O'Connor, that Burnley have had certainly as many chances, arguably more.
Well, they have, and Arsenal will want that second goal, because Burnley look more than capable of scoring a goal. And, you know, if they can keep this kind of pressure up and the endeavour and skill in those forward areas, they will create more. They've just got to put it away.
But Eduardo's goal is the difference between the two, how different it might have been if Lafferty's header had gone in rather than hit the bar. Layman away. Bendtner thought he was fouled, but he wasn't. Alexander for Burnley. By Gilberto. O'Connor's pass. Caldwell managed to retrieve. O'Connor tries again. Layman to Traoré. Forced to hurry by Elliott. Here's Lafferty. Alexander. Just about 5 minutes of normal time to go in the first half. Here's Diaby. Did well, Varga. He's found his legs, hasn't he now, Stan Varga?
He loves those kind of balls as well, just into the channel. Some food and drink for him.
Caldwell, cut out easily by Danielsson. Abué for Sagna.
It's a good challenge from O'Connor. You know, I talked about the work rate of the midfield too for Burnley. O'Connor and McCann have done a lot of tracking back.
Two quick goals for Derby County. Kenny Miller with the first, Charles Barnes with the second. It's now 2-2 against Sheffield Wednesday at Pride Park, and David Healy has equalised for Fulham at home to Bristol Rovers. 1-1 at Craven Cottage. Like this game, they kicked off at 2. Don't forget, 5:45, BBC One, the place to be for Stoke City against Newcastle United. Big Sam's big banana skin. There's Torre, Sanya, Danielson, Eduardo. This is beautifully worked. It's Danielson. There's only really Bendtner inside the penalty area. It's still found. Bendtner tries a spectacular. Great execution, fairly comfortable save.
Beautifully crafted as well, good football all the way. And we haven't seen too much of Bendtner, see the way he checked into that space, but this is great improvisation from a big man as well. I do like Bendtner, but he's been quiet in this game so far. That's testament to the way Burnley have played, I think.
O'Connor to Alexander. That's wasted. Been impressed with Burnley's wide players. Elliott and Lafferty have both been at the heart of most of the good things they've done, Gavin.
Well, we highlighted Lafferty before the game. I think Elliott as well has been lively. Had a lot of time at Bournemouth, didn't he? And he's been very positive, I think. You know, even if it hasn't quite come off for him, he's actually gone at Traore, asked questions of him.
Now here's Elliott. The confidence to take on Traore. It's a good ball in. Senderos dealt with it. Been steady this first half so far. Philippe Senderos. Now there's a little bit of room. Cross was whipped in. It's a lovely ball in by Robbie Blake. Put behind by Sanya for a corner.
That's a wicked ball. It really is. You know, when Blake gets into those areas, I think if you're a midfield player or if you're Gray, you come alive because you know that he twists and turns, you know that he can create space. And that was a really dangerous ball.
Now, Burnley corner, 3 minutes of the first half to go. Blake, it's a poor one. Easy for Sanya. Kept in by Blake, was it? No, apparently not. Arsenal will get the throw, and they've got off lightly there. It was a poor delivery from Blake. I mean, he just whipped in an absolutely wonderful cross. And from the resulting corner, he shanked it to the near post.
Yeah, but he whipped in the cross, and he had to run all the way over there to take the corner. I think he was shattered when the ball came to him.
McCann's header. Danielson was part of Sao Paulo's World Club Championship winning squad, Danielson, when they beat Liverpool in the final in Japan.
Steve, it's been a good game of football. You know, we've seen the ball played on the ground from both teams. We haven't seen too many times where it's just been lumped up there and been a big challenge. Well, there's going to be one coming now, isn't there? There you go.
There it goes from Senderos. Mind you, they scored against Everton twice like that. Caldwell, just a bit tight for O'Connor, but he got a nudge in the back from Gilberto. There's been a lot more here to talk about at half-time than there was half-time in the Aston Villa-Manchester United game yesterday, that's for sure. Here's Caldwell. Diaby. He got out of that hole extremely well, but here's O'Connor. Great determination about Burnley, not a little skill as well. Gilberto. Eboué. Bendtner. Sanya's making that run down the touchline again. Bendtner's ignored him again. Well shepherded by Varga. Actually, you have to say that apart from taking his goal with remarkable coolness, Eduardo, he's not done a great deal.
Well, that's what I was saying about Bendtner as well. You know, I think that Burnley have played so well that they've restricted Arsenal. But Eduardo is in such good form. Give him any kind of chance and he's going to put it away.
It's one of those players who you wonder if he's there, but just burst into life inside the penalty box. Strong challenge by Danielson, then by Gilberto. Here is Eduardo. Diaby. A few forward here, Arsenal. It wouldn't be a good time for Burnley to concede now. Just 1 minute to add on. Here's Diaby, a little bit of room, too much from Burnley's point of view. Good covering. O'Connor got across. Or Caldwell rather got across.
He's done well a few times, Caldwell. You know, he's snuffed out the danger. And what Burnley did well there is when Arsenal did attack, they came very narrow. They were nice and tight in the middle of the pitch, and they say, get through us if you can.
Gilberto, that's Varga. O'Connor. Free kick is given. Now this will be their last chance of the half. Andy Gray brought down. There is just about time here. Harley. McCann. You won't find Blake with that. Alan Wiley blows his whistle and Arsenal lead at half-time, but 20,000 people rise to salute an excellent first-half display from Burnley. Just the one lapse, really. Eduardo got in behind and finished quite beautifully, but that came just after Lafferty had crashed a header against the Arsenal crossbar, and one or two half chances have just whizzed over the top of Lehmann's goal as well. Burnley are not out of this cup tie, not by any stretch of the imagination. They are behind, though. It's Burnley 0, it's Arsenal 1 at Turf Moor at half-time. Yes, they've been excellent in the first half, Burnley, but the man who kept his cool in front of goal was undoubtedly Arsenal's Eduardo. It was an excellent finish. I don't know why we played people in the studio, Gavin. We're only losing 1-0 with a better team. Why do we pay people to say that? It just sums it up, doesn't it?
Spot on. You know, no, I have to say that Arsenal played okay without being scintillating. Burnley, I think, would have surprised one or two people. I think you said it yourself, Steve, that it's surprising to think that they've got such a poor home record when they can play football like we've seen and show the endeavour and attitude that we've seen from them in the first half.
Yeah, 13 games played here at Turf Moor in the Championship, and Burnley have only won 2 of them. It's actually quite nice to see teams emerging from a tunnel behind the goal. You don't see it at too many grounds these days, sort of vaguely reminiscent of the old Wembley. So Burnley will be defending that tunnel end in the second half, and can count themselves a bit unfortunate to be behind at half-time. A little more coolness required inside the penalty area, but if they keep up the application, the work rate and the passing game, they will still have their moments in this match. No half-time substitutions from either manager, and away we go with 45 minutes separating Arsenal at the moment between the third and fourth rounds of the Cup. Here's Gilberto. Danielson. Is just outside Eduardo. Diaby inside. Now it's Eboué. I think Harley's just been excellent for Burnley. Great. Got a big shout from the crowd that Eboué was chasing him. O'Connor to Harley. Has gone Arsenal's way. There were a few who thought it was handball by Danielson, but it wasn't. Gilberto. Gone against Danielson. Alan Wiley was in a really good position to give it.
O'Connor again making a challenge. He really is covering some ground.
Harley here. He knew that Andy Gray was in an offside position, so he didn't play the pass. Ended up shooting with his right foot, which isn't his favourite foot, and he runs away with a smile on his face.
Well, he does so well, because what he does realise that he has to go on his own. He has to take it because of the offside position striker was taking up.
Owen Coyle had 2 fantastic cup runs last season with St Johnstone, who were in the Scottish First Division at the time. Took them to the semi-final of both the Scottish Cup and the Scottish League Cup. St Johnstone actually won at Ibrox in one of those cup runs. First time they'd done that for 35 years. Here's Danielson, Bendtner. Well won by Varga. It really has grown as the game has gone on. Traoré got his foot in. Here's Diaby. Wouldn't want him to grow any more as the game goes on. Big enough already. Traoré's cross blocked.
He's not done that enough in the first half, Traoré. Get forward. You know, he's got great pace, great legs. He needs to get forward more.
Here's Diaby. Good footwork. Teeing up Danielson. When you think about it, Király's had to pick the ball out of the net once, and he's seen O'Connor block one on the line once. Apart from that, he hasn't made anything that would really trouble a goalkeeper.
Well, you see there, just even in that instance there, the amount of Burnley players that came very narrow, very tight. They don't want that ball going through the middle. I mean, ironically, the goal came from the middle, but that's the only real time that Arsenal got in.
That's a good ball. Lafferty might reach this. Sanya's with him, and the ball beats the pair of them in the end. It was just threaded through by Robbie Blake with a little bit too much dip.
Yeah, slightly overhit. Good player, Lafferty. He's not blisteringly quick, but he's got a long loping style.
Been saying at half-time, the Arsenal bench there. I mean, if Burnley do pull level, who do Arsenal have there who can change a game? There's Justin Hoyt, Mark Randall, Johan Djourou, and Henry Lansbury. I mean, not saying they couldn't come on and turn a game, but not players who you would expect to come on and turn a game. So Burnley should take encouragement from that.
Well, I would think that Arsène Wenger would be expecting more from the Arsenal 11 that are out there. And he would have said to them at half-time, you know, you're capable of it, up your game 10, 15%, and you will get the second goal that will put you in the comfort zone.
They're certainly not in the comfort zone at the moment. And here's Kyle Lafferty. That's an Arsenal throw. Say the atmosphere at Turf Moor has been terrific as well today. Bakary Sagna, Touré, Bendtner, Eduardo for Bendtner again. Oh, beautifully done, Eduardo. Look how cool he is. Oh, he's missed one. Well, he can't believe it. He's not the only one. Beautifully played.
Well, I fancied him again when he went through here. Caldwell tried to get tight, and Eduardo spun off him. And when he gets in this position, you fancy him all the way. You said it yourself, he was so cool, he looked up, and he thought he placed it in the bottom. That was a chance.
Next goal in this game is all important, and Arsenal were very, very close to scoring it. Danielson now long to Bendtner. Good first touch. Alexander got across. Varga, oh, nicked away. It's just a little bit slow there, Varga. This is Eduardo. Half a block by Alexander. Away by McCann. Back in by Danielson. Trouble the Arsenal fans rather than the Burnley keeper.
You do not want to be giving passes to Varga like the one we've just seen. Another one high and over the top, but it all resulted from a poor piece of play from Alexander on the right-hand side,
for which he quickly apologised, as we saw. Onside here, Robbie Blake. Andy Gray arriving in the middle. Blake taken away by Touré. Not away yet. Lafferty looking for McCann. good defending again by Kolo Touré.
I just think Blake, again causing trouble, just tried to be too precise there. Maybe needed to lift it, try and pick out Gray.
Harley for Burnley. Looked like handball by Abue, not given. Lafferty wins the corner. Noise level just cranks up through a notch or two. And Burnley here send forward Stanislav Varga. Caldwell has also come forward from the back. Delivery is not bad, but Senderos got in front of his man at the near post, and Bendtner might run this away, and this is where Arsenal can really hurt you. It's Bakary Sagna. Just a little nick off O'Connor helped Harley out. And Blake again for Burnley. Been a terrific cup time. Good ball offside though. Lafferty just went slightly too early.
What they have done is they have used the width well, Burnley. Just offside. But when Blake picked the ball up there, he didn't look to play it through the middle because Gray has probably not got the pace to beat Touré. Well, they've looked to spread it to wide positions, to Elliott and to Lafferty, and they've got good joy from that.
Kolo Touré taking an age here to determine where the free kick should be taken from. And then he's going to get Jens Lehmann to take it, and Alan Wiley, I'm sure, is canny enough to add on some seconds here. Lehmann has only played once since August. Eduardo is taken away from him by Varga. Traoré. O'Connor forward. Opportunities here. Gray looks right, finds Elliott. McCann in the middle. Blake in the middle. Good recovery. Burnley have a throw though.
Good challenge from Traoré.
This is a good time here for Burnley. You need to score when you're having a good time. Can McCann get underneath this? Touré did. Bendtner beaten to it by Caldwell. Burnley get the decision. Good pressure from the home side. O'Connor went in with the Nielsen. Boot was high. It's Burnley's free kick. Well, Arsenal are really being put under pressure here.
It's a brave header that. Probably sums up his performance.
Robbie Blake. From open play, he put in an absolutely wicked cross in the first half with his right. Can he reproduce here? Plenty to aim for. Arsenal have brought everybody back. Blake's free kick. Tis a good delivery. Oh, McCann put it over the bar. I think the offside flag was up anyway against McCann.
I'll tell you what, probably stretching for it a little bit. That was a good delivery. He's just stretching a little bit to keep it down. But I was thinking about Burnley and they played the one area probably they haven't made count is when they have had good set pieces in decent areas. But that was an excellent delivery.
He certainly wasn't offside, but the flag certainly did go up. Harley here. Offside that time. Andy Gray.
That was definitely offside.
Andy Gray scored a last-minute penalty against Arsenal in the cup tie for Sheffield United 3 years ago at Highbury, which earned them a replay at Bramall Lane. It went all the way to penalties. John Harley missed the decisive penalty. So Gray and Harley will be keen to exact some revenge. Wouldn't bet against it either. Here's Traoré. Blocked by Elliott. Arsenal get the throw. Traoré. Abu Diaby, Traoré. Gilberto. Guðjónsson off the mark, Harley forward. Good ball that, chased by McCann. Toure, given away. Blake couldn't weave through Sanya. Kolo Toure for Arsenal. Abu Diaby. Bendtner. Allowed to come and come. And didn't quite keep the ball in play. It was tight though.
It was tight at first, thought. I thought he did keep it in play.
Burnley seemed to stop, didn't they? And in the end they were right, but
yes.
Only just. Only just is all that matters. Gilberto, a World Cup winner at Turf Moor. Times this season he's had to play on the left side of midfield. John Harley is a player who is effective getting forward, and he's shown both sides of his game here today, defensively and getting up that left side for Burnley. Danielson to Gilberto and back again. Good tackle, that was Varga again. Stephen Caldwell to Lafferty. To the advertising hoardings.
There's a couple of times where Burnley in this second half, they press very, very well, and then when they have got into a good position where they've won it back, they haven't made it count. But the endeavour and work rate and fitness levels as well, Stephen, are very, very high.
They've only taken 2 points from the last 6 in the league. Abue treads on it. Lafferty. Gilberto there was caught by Lafferty, and it's a straight red card for Kyle Lafferty. And Burnley are down to 10 men, and Alan Wiley has stepped in and made an instantaneous decision that Kyle Lafferty has to go. And with it, maybe Burnley's chance of getting back in the cup tie have gone. Gilberto is still down, and Lafferty is shown the red card. It's a long walk. Now, where's the referee's position? He's right on the spot.
He's gone high. I mean, we saw an instance, didn't we, yesterday in the Ipswich game, and Trotter was sent off for Housey, and I thought that was a mistake. Here, watch where the ball is, watch where his foot goes. It goes high and over the top of the ball. This is the best angle.
He's taken this off the top of the ball.
Yeah, over the top of the ball. And that's where the dangerous play comes in. And the referees have a directive. If they consider it to be endangering the opponent, they've got to send them off.
Gavin, I think that's harsh, because his foot's made contact with the ball and then bounced up onto the shin.
Well, I would say that if his foot was coming along the ground and he actually made contact with the ball in a solid fashion, rather than taking over the top of the ball, then I would say you had a point. But here, it gets away from him, over the top, and that's where the danger lies. I mean, if Gilberto doesn't move out the way of this, it's a leg breaker. Well, that's where the reckless play comes in, Steve, you see.
Well, what is absolutely clear is that Alan Wiley couldn't have had a better view of it.
It's a shame, because Lafferty, good player, has been bright in this game, and of course Burnley been playing so well. You had the hope and you thought that they were going to get back into it and certainly get a goal.
Well, the boos and the shaking heads tell you what the home fans think of the decision. Half an hour to play. Gilberto is still getting treatment off the field of play. Arsenal are 1 up, they're a man up. Looks pretty tough for Burnley now. They've played so well, and Lafferty was one of the most likely players, it seemed, to get them back into this cup tie. He is now gone. Gilberto is back on, as you can tell from the boos. Eduardo. Wait till he gets the ball. Here's to Nielsen. Diaby won't reach it.
I think you're going to understand the home fans' frustration. You're going to understand the Burnley players' frustration, because I don't think it was a malicious challenge. I think the referee would have considered it reckless and thereby endangering the opponent. And I think you've got to understand as well the directive that the referees receive and what they've got to act upon.
Free kick goes Burnley's way. And Gilberto will get stick for the rest of the game. There's no suggestion, I'm not suggesting for a minute that Gilberto tried to make it seem any worse than it was. I don't think he did. But anyway, Burnley are down to 10 men, and here's Andy Gray. Closed in by Senderos. He's won a corner though. It's taken. Blake will have to settle for a throw. Haven't always made the most of their set pieces, Burnley. Elliott here. Alexander. O'Connor. Elliott given straight to Eboué, and Arsenal will break. Caldwell backing off, Eboué running at him. It's a poor ball. He's not had the best of games, has he, Eboué?
No, he hasn't come to terms with the pitch, if you like, because sometimes it is bobbling up. He's not taking the extra time, the extra touch.
Good header from Kolo Touré. He has had a good game. Both Eboué and Touré are off to Ghana next week for the Cup of Nations. Nicely played. Blake threading it through. James O'Connor for Burnley. Elliott won't quite reach it. Senderos with the clearance. Blake. Harley. All credit Burnley. Lovely turn by Elliott, deflected by Touré. Burnley corner. Well, they responded well to conceding in the first half, and they've responded really well to the red card.
Well, they're showing good character. A lot expected of Elliott now, because he's the only wide man out there. He's got to float around, cause problems.
Robbie Blake with the corner. It's a good delivery. Caldwell was waiting. Diaby just beat him to it. Blocked by Senderos, and the header didn't trouble Jens Lehmann. Stan Varga trying to become an instant Burnley hero on his debut. Appeal for handball against Nielsen, and it's given. His shoulder. Fulham 1, Bristol Rovers 2 now at Craven Cottage. Hinton, I think it is, with a goal for Bristol Rovers. Offside flag is up. Well, can the 10 men get themselves back into this game?
I suppose they can. It would take a gargantuan effort, because you just feel that the more bodies that they do commit forward as they go in search of the equalising goal, Arsenal might just hit them on the break and get that second goal that's been elusive for them so far.
Diaby. Gilberto. Varga got a foot in. Nielsen. Bendtner, Eduardo and Eboué in the middle. Burnley might have a problem here. Bendtner surrounded by 3. Diaby raised his hands. It'll be a free kick to Burnley for handball. Arsenal.
Not the most popular man at the moment, is he?
No,
Mr. Wiley.
It's clearly handball. Who'd be a ref, eh?
It's a thankless task.
This is Traoré. I just feel that a sense of injustice is firing Burnley here, and certainly firing up the fans. Eboué. Blake. Harley. Back into Blake. Dispossessed by Gilberto, who's the pantomime villain at the moment. Here's Bendtner. Eduardo's to his left-hand side. And Harley nicked in ahead of Gilberto, and how the Burnley fans enjoyed that. Here's Varga. Late. Elliott has got him behind Traoré. Gray in the middle, it's a great cross. Oh! It's a wonderful cross, and Senderos's touch was crucial for Arsenal.
Oh, what a great touch that was. It really was, because Gray was in a prime position and would have buried it.
You can't find any logical reason for thinking that Burnley can get back into this cup tie, but deep in the pit of your stomach you think they could.
I think everyone watching wants them to as well, because of the sending off incident.
Bendtner. Sanya. Free kick Arsenal.
And you've got to say as well, Steve, they've played with spirit and good footballing sense as well throughout the whole of this game.
I think that half-time text message still applies, doesn't it? Only 1-0 down and with a better team.
What's Király had to do?
Varga. Andy Gray. Blake. That's a lovely ball. Traoré read it well. Wade Elliott looked like he was going to get away for a minute. Oh, it's a mistake by Diaby. Alexander here. 3 white shirts around him almost instantaneously. And Diaby's pretty relieved because it was his mistake, but they're not out of the woods yet. Oh, and O'Connor can't find Elliott.
That's great stuff from Burnley. It really is.
It's been one moment in the game, Gavin, when Arsenal showed quality that Burnley haven't had, and that was Eduardo's coolness inside the penalty area. But for that, there's been really precious little to choose between them.
I agree with you, and at the moment, you know, they may be a man down, but this crowd is keeping them going, it's lifting them, and it's giving them energy levels probably that they didn't think they had.
Well, they've been given a free kick here. Sometimes you say the crowd is the 12th man. They're actually Burnley's 11th man here. That's Caldwell who's waiting. Varga's also forward. McCann as well. And Gray, of course. And Sanya can clear. Again, Gavin, the set pieces.
Yeah, they've not made them count as well. I think we've seen maybe one really good delivery from Robbie Blake.
Justin Hoyt is going to be on any minute for Arsenal. Interesting to see who Arsène Wenger decides to take off. Is it Traoré, the left-back, who's going to make way? I think possibly it is. We've got 20 minutes or so to go. And it is indeed Traoré who is coming off for Hoyt.
He hasn't had the best of games, I would say, Traoré. You know, I think Elliott's caused him a few problems, and down his side is where a lot of Burnley's joy has come as well.
Hoyt is going to play left back. Diaby. He'd be naturally more comfortable on the other side, Hoyt. Here's Senderos. Touré. Bendtner. Harley. Fall from O'Connor. Nicely done. McCann trying to weave through. Touré again in the way. He's had a good game for Arsenal today, Kolo Touré. Here's Graham Alexander. Hoyt. It's Burnley's throw. 18 minutes to go at Turf Moor, 18 minutes to go too at Craven Cottage. Danny Murphy levels for Fulham, 2-2 against Bristol Rovers. Kolo Touré with a clearance. Arsenal been almost under constant pressure since the red card. Alexander. Elliott. Elliott hits Senderos. It's very, very rare that you will see an Arsenal side being forced to play on the back foot for such a prolonged period, and almost unheard of against 10 men. Oh, O'Connor just about got there ahead of Bendtner. O'Connor cut out by Hoyt. Here's to Nielsen. Abu Diaby. Lovely ball. Abué onside. It was a glorious ball by Diaby. Bendtner. Gilberto. Diaby gave it straight to Gray. Alexander. Alexander again. Nicely done. Here's Elliott from McCann's little flick. Elliott taking on Justin Hoyt. Senderos. He's been steady too for Arsène Senderos.
And a good job too that Touré and Senderos have been okay, because of the questions that have been asked of them. At the moment, one of those midfielders, McCann or O'Connor, is making that extra man and helping out Gray up front.
Gilberto got his head on it. Hoyt with a clearance. Eduardo for Arsenal. Abué. Sany's continued his run. And he's got it now. Bendtner in the middle. Nielsen. Sanya. Eduardo. Well, it's a lovely ball. Bendtner is onside and wins the tie for Arsenal. The quality of Eduardo shines through again to set up a goal for his strike partner, Nicklas Bendtner. And after all their effort, Burnley concede, and surely now the game is up.
It's going to be difficult for them to come back from this. Plenty congratulating Bendtner, but a lot congratulating Eduardo for that through ball. It really was. It was the pace of the pass that killed them. Good run for sure, good spin, but the pace of the pass was absolutely spot on. And there, Bendtner just had to get his touch right. He has a little look, gets the touch right, head down and concentrates on the connection on the ball. End of story.
Quality goal. Burnley have made a change. They have brought on Guðjónsson, and they've taken off James O'Connor, who's just run himself almost into a standstill. And there are still 15 minutes to go, and Eduardo is rampaging now. And Bendtner, oh, it's a really good recovering challenge from Caldwell.
You just don't want it now, from Burnley's point of view, you don't want it to be a rout and Arsenal to end up getting 3 or 4, because it'll be a poor reflection on the game and the huge effort that Burnley have put in.
But Abué will take the corner. Senderos got his head on it. Bendtner. Good clearance by Alexander. Nielsen. Well, Eduardo scored one, made the other. Justin Hoyt to Bendtner. To Gilberto, to Danielson. Last time Arsenal won at Turf Moor, they won the double. They're in 4 competitions this time. Danielson. Eboué. Just cleared Eduardo. There's some tired legs out there now, and Burnley are going to make changes. Looks like Akinbiyi is going to come on. Steve Jones, I think, is going to come on too. Both strikers. Minutes to go. Can Akinbiyi come on and rattle Kolo Touré and Senderos? Two strikers for two strikers. I think Blake and Gray have done really well today. Akinbiyi and Jones, different kind of threat.
I'd agree with you there. I think those front two that just came off have played with real guile, intelligence. Akinbiyi, I know very well, played against him several times, and he will have a more physical approach. He's got pace, he's got strength, and they need a goal quick.
Here he is. Justin Hoyt away for Arsenal. Joey Guðjónsson here. Foul given. There are still 10 minutes to go. Everybody has done enough today, I think, for Burnley to look back on their performance with pride. But there will be a few if-onlys as well. Joey Guðjónsson with the shot, which Lehmann deals with comfortably. Bendtner. Good ball, Eboué. Eduardo is sniffing in the penalty area. Eboué has beaten Harley. Taken on Varga. Cleared by Alexander. Range of expression of Emmanuel Eboué. Gilberto. Kolo Touré. Diaby. Eduardo, he has kept it in. Bendtner. Caldwell to Joey Guðjónsson. Only Akinbiyi up there for Burnley. Senderos there. Eboué. 10 minutes to go. I mean, Arsenal can almost keep possession for 10 minutes. They're that kind of team. It's going to be hard for Burnley to get the ball back, let alone get 2 goals back.
Well, Arsenal need to use, you know, against 10 men, you need to use the full width of the pitch, and that's what Arsenal need to do, and then just knock it about and wait for what will be another opening will probably appear then.
Talking about if-onlys for Burnley, ifs and buts. If Lafferty's header had gone in instead of hitting the bar, if Lafferty hadn't been sent off, if they kept their composure once or twice in the first half, with particularly Elliott with a shot which flew over the top of the crossbar. Akinbiyi offside here.
Well, I think that's the point as well. You know, you look at the 2 goals that Arsenal have scored, and you look at the players that scored them, Eduardo and Bendtner. I mean, Eduardo's had, what, 2 chances, you'd say, in the game? Finished 1. Bendtner, he had the overhead kick, which he created himself, and then the one he put in the back of the net. So their ratio of chances and finishing is better, and That's the difference with the Premiership teams.
Good header by Varga. Here's to Nielsen. Play on here, and Eduardo is waiting in the middle. Caldwell was well placed. Burnley get the throw. He's done well, Akinbiyi with that. Oh, that was a lovely ball which Sanya just kept away from Harley. Burnley get the throw. For me, he's been the pick for Burnley today, Harley. Guðjónsson. Senderos. Well, we've seen this third round weekend that on any given day, a Championship side, even a League One side, can beat a Premiership team, and Burnley have certainly troubled the top Premiership team, but they're not going to beat them. And Eduardo, the scalpel, is after another, and he might well have it here. Király comes out and does well.
Does really well, because I think here he hesitates a little bit, but he's just steady himself, and he reads Eduardo's touch, he reads his body movement, and then makes sure.
Gilberto. Diaby. Gilberto in the middle, it's his header. He's a fine player, Gilberto, isn't he? He really is. 2-3 seasons ago, when he had to spell out to the Arsenal side, I felt they really missed him. He's now struggling to get in the side, such as the quality of Fabregas and Flamini. But he's a very, very good footballer. Justin Hoyt. Jones running at Sanya. Nicklas Bendtner here. Oh, he did well, and he was pulled back by Caldwell, who knew precisely what he was doing. Bendtner had beaten him all ends up, and Alan Wiley's not going to let that go without punishment. He could easily dish out a yellow card here, and he is going to. I thought he would. No arguing about that one.
I think he has to. Caldwell's done well at times today, but he just got drawn in there trying to win the ball, and Bendtner slipped by him.
It's only 19, Bendtner. Hoyt. Eduardo was fouled.
He rolls people well, Eduardo. He's light on his feet though, will-o'-the-wisp.
Torre shown real resilience today, Arsenal, and they've shown quite a bit of that, haven't they, over the Christmas and New Year period. They had to show great character to come from behind at Everton. Also showed character and grit against Tottenham, and they've had to do it again here today against Owen Coyle's Burnley. A chance for a bit of consolation. Elliott shot hits Senderos. Sanya. Harley did well to get any sort of cross in. Torre had time to adjust his feet. Bendtner. Is it possible, do you think, Gavin, for any side to win 4. And Manchester United won 3. Arsenal are still in 4 competitions at the moment. It's a mighty ask to win 4, isn't it?
I think so. I think it would take something really special. I mean, you know, the Arsenal squad, if you like to put it that way, are special. I just don't know that they're that special to win 4.
Here goes Diaby. Oh, good tackle by Varga. Akinbiyi will chase, but Kolo Touré had a head start, and to be honest, I don't think Kolo Touré actually would need a head start against Akinbiyi.
He could play another game after this one, Touré.
Talk about versatility of Arsenal players when you think that you know, Diaby can play at the back, he can play in midfield. Flamini spent a long time playing left back, now he's a central midfielder. Eboué on the ball now can be a full back. Here's Sagna. Eboué. Caldwell for Burnley. First time I ever saw this player, Kolo Touré, play was in the African Cup of Nations 6 years ago, before he signed for Arsenal, and he was playing on the left side of midfield for the Ivory Coast then. Versatility and adaptability.
You've seen Yaya Touré play as well. Yeah. He is a player. But, no, you're right. I think, you know, the prerequisite for Arsenal players is you've got to be able to run and you've got to be able to manipulate that football.
Sagna for Arsenal. It's a bit soul-destroying now for Burnley, but there is absolutely no reason for them to feel bad about the performance they put on today. But they don't want to concede another, and Danielson ensures with a pretty wasteful shot that they're still just the 2.
I think it would be sad if they did concede another, because, as I said, the game and their performance that doesn't deserve it. And you can understand why sentiment will be with this Burnley team, because of the way they've played and because of the fact that they did deserve something out of it. I can see why Alan Wiley made the decision that he did. It's just a shame that perhaps he had to, in a way, and maybe the laws need to be looked at.
Here's Eboué. Bendtner. Eduardo. And 1 or 2 Burnley fans now wanting to beat the traffic. They've done their bit today, for sure. 3 minutes to add on. Danielson. Tottenham in midweek in the League Cup semi-final, first leg. Arsenal, they've got AC Milan coming up in the Champions League. Harley. Burnley throw. Jones. Decent cross. Kolo Touré got something on it. So did Diaby, and then Gilberto. Eduardo. Blocked by Guðjónsson. Diaby rode it. Took his goal well, Bendtner, but it was beautifully made by Eduardo. Bendtner again. Danielson and Eduardo, and deflected. And a good recovery from Király.
He's knocking it about now, Arsenal, and it's very, very difficult for Burnley. I think, you know, you've mentioned John Harley. I think he's had an excellent game, probably epitomised everything good about Burnley. Great spirit and drive, the fact he's never given up, always looking to get forward, and showed good skill as well on the ball.
Here's Jones. Akinbiyi in the middle. Cross is much too deep for him. And Wade Elliott hasn't got the legs to chase it anymore. Well, that record continues. He's never not made the 4th round of the FA Cup. He's come back to Lancashire to play another team beginning with B, and after defeats at Bolton and Blackburn, they have seen off Burnley. Senderos has got it behind, it's a corner. Stand by for the biggest cheer of the afternoon if Burnley get one.
Well, they deserve it.
Varga and Akinbiyi forward. Need to take a deep breath before you jump with Akinbiyi. In it goes towards the big man, Varga with him too. And Alan Wiley's whistle signals Arsenal's place in the 4th round of the FA Cup. But it has been anything but a stroll against Burnley. And Owen Coyle can be very pleased with his side's performance. Had Kyle Lafferty's header gone in instead of hit the crossbar, it might have been different. I think Arsène Wenger acknowledges the fact that his side have been stretched by Burnley here. The red card possibly changed the game, but Bendtner's second goal finished it off from Eduardo's pass after he'd scored the first. And Arsenal are through to Monday's draw. Burnley 0, Arsenal 2.